Richard, boom, 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 Richard, boom, Richard, boom, 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 Richard, boom, 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 boom. My name is Richard Boom Boom, Richard Boomboomcharles, and I'm an entertainer comedian, meaning that I can make you laugh and I can entertain you. It depends on where you at. You know, laughter is good medicine. It's always good. Well, let me tell you something about my family. I hadn't seen my family in 16 years. 16 years. Now, this is a true story. You know, my mother died in my arms. That was the last time I saw my family after his funeral. Well, I found them on the internet. The internet, of all things, the internet has everything on it. And I was able to talk to my little nephew. He said, you know, I haven't seen you since I was a kid. He was crying. And I felt for him so bad. You know, I felt a lot of compassion for him because I knew that I didn't have anything to do with his upbringing. And he said that he wanted to see me. And I told him, I said, you know, when I left you guys' house when you were younger, I said, I didn't know I wasn't going to see you again in 16 years. I said, but I wasn't always a good guy. I did some bad things in my life. He said, but Richard, I work at a bank. You mean to tell me you used to do things like rob people? He said, you can come and rob me. It'll be nice to see you. Anyway, you know, I want to tell you about a very lovely couple. Her name was Lorraine, and his name was John. Now, John and Lorraine had been married 14 years. 14 years. And every year, they did something special for their anniversary. Well, John asked Lorraine, he said, Lorraine, what do you want to do this year? And she said, I want to go water rafting. He said, water rafting? So he said, that means we're going to have to rent a boat, get a raft and all that. He said, Lorraine, I love you, and whatever you want to do, that's fine with me. So they went down to the place to get the raft. And they met this lady named Clearly. And she was the one that rented them the boat. And John started looking back after they got the raft. And his wife Lorraine said, what are you looking at? And he said, I was just looking at that other boat over there. You know, it looks like a bigger boat than the one we got. But Lorraine just shook her head. Anyway, they went and got on the raft, and they're going down the river. And all of a sudden, John looks back, and Lorraine is gone. So he said, I'm a professional deep sea diver. I'm going to put on my outfit. I'm going to go find my wife after 14 years. So he jumps into the water. And he's swimming. He's all underwater. He's got his gear on and everything. And he's down there swimming, and he don't see nothing. So he comes back up. He says, by now, she's probably gone. So he went back to the place where he got the boat from. You know, he had to turn the boat in. And that lady that he had saw, that beautiful lady that rented the boat to him, her name was Clearly. Okay? He was on his way back up to the shop to go see this lady. So he turned in the boat. He started running, then he started jumping, and then he started skipping. And he was singing this song. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Anyway, you know, I love church. And I like going to church, you know. Everybody got to go somewhere. Everybody got to believe in something. Well, you know, I like to sing. And I believe in getting in the Spirit. Well, one day after getting in the Spirit, the pastor told me, he says he had a talk with the church and the choir and all that, and they were going to ask me to leave the church. I said, well, what? He said that I was disturbing the church and disturbing the choir because of my loud voice. So I looked looked at him and I said, well, he said, you're going to ask me to leave. I said, well, you already did. So anyway, I leave outside the church. I'm thinking that lightning is getting ready to strike. I'm thinking that a lightning bolt's going to hit me or something like that. I'm thinking, well, if they don't already kick me out of church. And I looked up to the sky and said, God, was I disturbing you? Anyway, let me tell you about this guy. He was in a motel. This guy, now he had a room, man. In his room, he had parties every night. Oh, man, let me tell you, he had girls up there. They were dancing and stuff. Some people, you don't know what they were smoking, but they were smoking somebody. John didn't smoke. He didn't even drink or nothing. But all the people that he had in his room was partying. They was getting down. And John was up there. And they was teaching him how to dance before John. You knew when John was doing this. I said, wow, what's going on? But what happened was, John had this magic 2x4. Everything that he wanted, he told the 2x4. He said, I want 12 girls. Boom! There was 12 girls in there, all different colors, and they were all dancing. He said, now, I want a plate full of food. I want bologna, I want ham, I want steak. It was there. And then he said, okay. So after that, he got out, he walked outside with all the people. He said, I want a limo, but I want it stretched from one corner to the other. All of a sudden, it was stretched from one corner to another. Beautiful limo with a swimming pool inside. Everybody jumped into the car, and they was all partying in the car. John came back. Okay, and then all those people went back into John's house. John was just partying every night. So anyway, John got ready to go to work in the morning, and the lady that owned the hotel was watching him. And he said, I want a red truck. And boom, there was a red truck. So she got to thinking, well, this guy's saying this. I wonder if I can get a hold of that 2x4 myself, if he can do that. So she's thinking, so all of a sudden, John needed, he said, I need $1,000. All of a sudden, John was counting $1,000. He put it in his pocket. So he came home next day, the lady was looking out the window, she's the owner, she said, oh, if you do this again, I'm just gonna go talk to him or something to say to him. But anyway, she watched him for about a couple weeks. The parties every night, the extravagant cars, she saw him wish for the biggest steak she ever saw in her life. Anyway, when she saw this, all of a sudden, she knocked on the door, and before she knew it, after she got through talking to John, she had him paying for his room and his board. I actually know how you can make a wino admit he's a wino. You go up to him, and you say, sir, have you been drinking? And he'll say, why no? Boom.